Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday again. And of course, that means it's Tough Love Tuesday. Tracy, Cromwell here with you today, your certified integrative nutrition health coach, precision nutrition health coach, and personal trainer and senior fitness specialist. So tonight I'm going to do some tough love regarding fitness. But for those that have never watched the broadcast or heard it, these, of course, are recorded live, and there's something I really love doing. If you're listening on the podcast, again, these are recorded live, so anything can happen. So just giving you a heads up on that. So anyway, as some of you may know, I like to bring and discuss on this show, are all areas of life that affect us and affect our health. And so tonight I'm going to talk about fitness and fitness as we age, as an aging population, and how we can, love fitness as we progress into our older days. So, I'm 54 years old, and so I'm heading into that realm, and of where I really wanting to focus on how I take care of myself as I age and progress. And so, anyway, but this podcast does broadcast out to YouTube, and so if you're interested in watching it out there, you can do that. And then also, your personal journey with food. Of course, my book is available on Amazon, and then also available. And you can order it through most of your local independent bookstores too. So a little plug there for that. So anyway, but on to the topic tonight again is how, we can start to love fitness as we age. So I know for me, I went through yo-yo dieting as well as yo-yo fitness. And so, there's different phases in our lives where we may be more active than we were at other times, and vice versa. The great part is that our bodies are incredible. And so, it's never too late to start, moving your body. It's so important. So, no matter how old you are, it's really important to maintain a really healthy relationship, with your body and your mind. And that helps to achieve that optimal level of health and happiness. So I found when I was missing any one of those pieces, it was really hard. So sometimes in my life, I was really, really fit, but my mindset wasn't, in a healthy space. And sometimes I'd be, where my mind was in a great space, but my body just wasn't. And so, always constantly working on that. But again, it's just never too late for us to start, changing our behavior around our fitness. And so tonight I'm just going to talk to you about why you really want to start focusing on that. And if you're still young, it's still worth talking about it tonight. So again, it's never too late to start. Anyway, so I guess a lot of things have changed over the years, right? In how we see fitness. A lot of recommendations, a lot of science, all this and that, and over the years. So it's easy for us to all feel a little confused at what we should be doing with our fitness life. There's also the aspect that, as human beings, we do inherit beliefs, from prior experience. So that can be from our parents, from our experience at maybe PE in school, inherit beliefs about exercise. And for me, it's interesting. I think about it. If we were to look, 50 years ago, as a good example, how women were thought to be able to exercise a certain way versus men, and so, and even years prior to that, women were deemed more fragile. And if you look back on videos, some of them are really funny. You look at some of the exercise videos that women, had back in the day, and compared to what we see today. So keeping that in mind, if you find you struggle a little bit, it makes sense because you do inherit belief structures in the past, depending on your age and things like that. So So that can make it a little confusing to think of how you're supposed to progress as you age and what's possible for you as you age. So what's great now is we have learned so much about our bodies that our bodies are more able to do things than we ever expected. And so, there's this also a concept, just to talk about aging, as being aging versus growing. So, on some levels, we could argue that every one of us is slowly aging, right? But soon as we enter into this world, we begin the long journey of lifetime towards old aging. Hope that makes sense. But I'd like you to, basically consider physical and mental fitness as one continuous arc of health, which lasts from our childhood days all the way through to our days to retirement. And so if I was to ask you, is there a certain period in your life that meant you should be more fit than any other? I think some might say, yeah, probably when I'm really young, I'm raising kids, having a baby or whatever, I need to be really, fit at that point in life. But I think what we're learning is that actually we need to bring that through our entire lives and into our older age. And so because it's quality aging and a quality life as you age is so dependent on the strength of your body, it would be interesting to challenge if you did have a thought like, oh, well, definitely when I was this certain age, I really needed to be fit. But actually, we can challenge those muscles, challenge that body to be fit, for, throughout our entire life. So anyway, just thought I'd bring that up. There's a little bit challenge there in the belief structure that I wanted to challenge you with. So there's also something called healthy functioning. So, and this was one thing I really had to work on for myself because I had this a bit backwards, but, fitness is more than how the body looks. So, it's really about how well our body functions and how equipped our bodies are to deal with challenges that life throws at us, and about extending the duration through which our bodies will support us in the world. So, it's by shifting that perception to this philosophy of striving for optimal health rather than looks or particular weight or a figure that we can basically we'll start to understand the benefits of loving our bodies and loving our fitness programs and doing that well into our older age. So really almost every disease and illness you can think of, which is affecting older generations today, can be influenced in some way by fitness levels. So, that means by prioritizing our fitness and our health, we can impact the effects of how we age and even reduce the likelihood that we would have a disease later in the future. So like some of I was pre-diabetic in my early 40s. And so I saw that as a chance for me to change that because I knew I didn't want to bring that disease with me into my later life. So I also don't know if you've heard of what are called blue zones. And these are areas in the world where people live for a very long time and they're very healthy. But they're also very active, but they're not active necessarily in a realm of like they go out on a structured physical fitness program, but their lifestyle is very active, and then they also eat very high quality foods. And in these blue zones, people that live there, have a vibrant lifestyle. Also, they also incorporate a lot of social life, they have open communities and all of that. So they're happy, they exercise, they have relationships and all of those things, which helps them age, their body age more youthfully, I guess you'd say. And they have a great deal of longevity. So as we age, moving on, I wanted to talk about the benefits of recreation. So as we age, maybe our fitness will change, our fitness levels will change, but there have been studies, Cambridge scholars did a study, and they noted just that how as we age, if we have community around exercise, or we find social ways to exercise, it could be walking, golfing, being on a bike, whatever is you like to do. I know there's like lawn bowling and all that kind of stuff, but bringing in a community aspect to it also makes fitness and activity a lot more fun. And so you end up having like a community support around your fitness program. And so when Cambridge did the study, they found that there were extreme benefits to that. So as we grow and as we age, it's really good to reach out and try to find other people that you can exercise with, that you enjoy being with, and bring that into your lifestyle. I know with COVID, it's just been so hard because we are so isolated, and it's been very hard for people. But I really just say, if you can begin to be with your community, your loved ones, and, try going ahead and bringing some walking time into that and some other type of fitness so that your body can be strong and move. Which brings me to talking about muscle memory. So let's just say you are a yo-yo exerciser, kind of like I was, but it's not just because you haven't exercised in a while doesn't mean that your body won't remember. It's like riding a bike, right? So riding a bike. So let's just say you're in your 60s and you realize you want to start a fitness program, or even 70s or 80s, your body will have some muscle memory. And so it's still worth going for it. You may not be able to do the things that you had done the way you did when you were younger, but your muscles are going to remember, your brain will start to figure it out again. And, they found that we have that aptitude, that ability. So all is not lost to go ahead and start stepping into getting your body moving again if you haven't for a while. So you would just start kind of slow, and then you can progress and get stronger and stronger. I was talking with someone the other day, and their yoga teacher, she's like 89 years old, I believe, 89, and teaching yoga and very fit. And so anyway, that's that concept that you can go ahead and do your best to remember as you age. Your body is incredible if we move it and we train it and that kind of a thing. So a little area for you to remember, being Tough Love Tuesday, I wanted to bring up that common diseases, there's common diseases that are prevented by high fitness levels. So you can prevent like heart disease if you exercise, and of course eat right. But, so here's the tough love. So while increasing fitness levels should never be, considered as the only way to boost immune health and prevent disease, it cannot be ignored that those with higher levels of physical fitness experience overall lower levels of disease and are less susceptible to developing physical illnesses, even as they age. So lowered instances of heart disease are one of the most common observations that they found in older generations, which has been directly linked to physical fitness. And physical activity helps prevent bone density loss. It helps increase muscle strength. It'll improve coordination and balance, which is so important. That's something I talk about a lot. You got to work on your balance. It's like a skill. So it's really important. But yeah, physical fitness will help that coordination, as well as improve blood circulation and will help you keep lower blood pressure. So again, physical fitness is one piece of preventing chronic illness, and especially those lifestyle chronic illness diseases. So the National Center for Biotechnology actually did a study just like 2013, and they noted that higher levels of physical activity were associated with a 21% reduction in coronary heart disease events for men and 29% reduction in coronary heart disease events in women. So, again, I like to think of this too. Your heart is a muscle, so you gotta work it out, right? You got to give it exercise and help it get strong, help it be strong. So, yes. So again, Tough Love Tuesday. Here we are. Common diseases prevented by high fitness levels. Another one is diabetes. This is type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. So I've recently done a broadcast on that, on diabetes and prediabetes. But again, in the US today, nearly 1 in 4 adults are either diagnosed with or at risk of developing diabetes. That's 1 in 4. So again, if you have a party of 12 people, three of you are at risk, so, and of those 3, 1 of you doesn't know it. So, anyway, so it's a big problem. And again, it stems much deeper basically than remaining fit. But we have to just be more aware of what we're putting into our bodies as well. And also what kind of fitness, what kind of movement, how are we strengthening our bodies? So, again, they're stating that regular exercise can help insulin more effectively lower your blood sugar levels. And for those seeking to lower their risk for developing the disease, which being diabetes in later life, or for those at risk already and hoping to combat it, this is why exercise is key. So it's really important. Again, that National Center for Biotechnology information, they did a study on sedentary behavior as one of the major contributing factors to type 2 diabetes in older patients. And as such, it makes sense that in order to prevent the onset of diabetes, that fitness levels should be assessed and increased where possible. So again, we're looking at a lot of science that is proven now over time. Our sedentary lifestyles are harmful to our bodies, and they're harmful to our minds as well. So they also wanted to notice in the note in this study that it's, even in cases where genetics have caused doctors to believe some patients are predisposed to developing diabetes, that prescribed fitness and exercise programs have been observed to lower their symptoms significantly. And so this really isn't a case of it's in my genes, so it's just going to happen. They're proving that false over and over again. Just because you have a genetic disposition does not mean you have to get a chronic illness. So there's really great information out there about gene expression. It's worth definitely Googling gene expression. It means that you have a gene, but your lifestyle will dictate whether that gene expresses itself and creates an illness in you. So another thing that's really important, I guess, too, as we age, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, too, was just social isolation and fitness. And especially I was thinking with COVID being so isolated, but again, being social and having a social aspect of fitness it seems to show that it helps us better. It helps us to feel better. It also helps us to enjoy whatever fitness we might be working on and things like that. So, the isolation of older adults is really is a real issue. And so one of the best ways that's been found to counteract that effect of it is to, reduce the amount of time spent worrying about being alone. And it's to actively engage in social activities. So that's something involves actually getting physically active. Then even better, as studies have shown, the heightened effects of exercise with a companion over exercising by yourself. So as we age, it just is really important to create relationships, and then when you're with those people, do something active, and combining your social life with fitness. This was a really good point I wanted to bring up too. Pass the torch of health. And what this means is make sure your kids, your children, and your grandchildren learn from example. It's if nothing in what I've talked about already has really inspired you, maybe being an inspiration for your kids will be something that can help you because they're watching. I remember when my kids were little and I was doing all the step aerobics all the time, and they each had their own little box or something to exercise on as well. And I know they do remember that, and of course they do remember when I had hard times too. But I believe that because when they were young and I was really fit and I was trying to eat really well, I believe that set an example for them, because those two I've never seen them have the relationship with food problems that I had, because they caught me I was at that age where I think I was able to set an example. So if anything, if you can set an example for your grandkids to say, hey, I want to be like you, my husband's aunt, she lived, till over 100 years, and the family called her the groovy old lady, and she was out walking, and going to the grocery store, very active and just very social, very vibrant in her life. And so I think of her a lot, I want to be the groovy old lady, so and she's very inspiring to the family. So, integrating your children, with your children and grandkids with walks, or teaching them things, tossing a ball, those kinds of things. Let them see you eating well, let them see you, swimming, whatever it is, let them know that you're being very active. And I guess for me too, having moved into this career, a lot of it too, it helps me because I know I need to be doing the right thing for myself. I'm not always perfect at it, but I'm always doing my best, because I'm hoping that at 54, I can set an example, and then also, set an example for my kids. And so anyway, that's something to think about. And this is a good one too, strength over numbers. So this is hard for me. I'm a pretty competitive person. So sometimes it's hard for me to participate in things that there's not like some kind of a goal associated in terms of strength or power or whatever that might be. So, anyway, fitness doesn't always have to be competitive. And I know I compete with myself, and I used to compete like volleyball. I played tennis in school and stuff like that. But what they're finding though too is that there's great benefits of trends of yoga, tai chi, meditation, strengthen mindset, strengthen slow movements, strengthen control, those types of things as well. So we don't always have to be competing. Definitely our physical activities can change the way our pants fit and all that kind of thing. But again, one thing that really helped me stop yo-yo dieting, helped me stop dieting, helped stop me ruthlessly beating me up at the gym or when I was working out, was my overall goal changed. And it was now my goal is to attain higher levels of health and peace of mind instead of trying to reach a certain weight or trying to have a certain figure or trying to be in a certain dress size. So as we age, as we can switch that mindset, my overall goal is to have a nice, strong body, a very solid mind, and a feeling of a self-image of myself that's not based on all these stereotype things. So strength over numbers. So strengthen your self-worth, all of those things. And then changing the way you eat, changing the way you exercise, all of those things to basically to help create a very healthy body and a strong body. And it's incredible. Once I did that, everything changed. Everything changed for me. Another incredible part of why you want to bring fitness into your life right away, doesn't matter what age you are, but also as you're aging, is it helps you retain cognitive ability. There was another study by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, and they aimed to analyze the cognitive functionality of a group of adults that were engaging in physical activities. And then they also had a group that didn't. And so what they found was that the cognitive ability of those in the exercise group raised to a higher bracket, and they also found that they had really great conclusions here that cognitive ability in older people is significantly related to and impacted by their activity levels. Increased fitness and activity levels in older people led to reduced instances of dementia. And then also mental health findings in older adults who exercise regularly saw a lowered number of instances of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and also a lowered susceptibility to be to the depreciation of existing symptoms of those diseases. So your brain needs you to exercise as well, and so that's all combined. And I've talked before about how you have a gut-brain connection. Well, your brain is also, it needs your body to move as well. It's really important. The other great part, and this is something you can look up to. I know people have heard about the Human Genome Project, but and I mentioned this a little bit before, but anyone using, again, the excuse, well, it's in my genes, therefore I can't prevent something from happening. They've shown that in the Human Genome Project that that's not the case. And so the cool part about it, again, is that they found that genes are really responsible, of 20% of really your health. The other 80% is up to you. And so that's what's so exciting. So our behaviors, our lifestyles, and all of that, we actually can control what happens to us 80% of the time. We do not have to be, just because, maybe our aunt or our father or somebody else passed away from a chronic disease does not mean that we have to, okay? By not, again, if you look at the Human Genome Project and gene expression, you'll find out that our lifestyles really, really do impact how those genes express themselves, okay? So it's pretty exciting to say, okay, you have an opportunity, especially as we age, to change the way that trajectory is going to be. And so making positive and life-enhancing choices is so important. And your decisions relating to health and fitness directly affect the outcome of your life. And as such, it can sound simple to tell somebody to merely make better choices. But sometimes that doesn't mean it's that simple. But if you're ready to make a shift in your health and overall longevity, the first step to doing this is informing yourself about methods to do this. So that's doing the investigation, figuring it out, right? And also just not letting excuses get in your way anymore, okay? So I know things like your career, lifestyle, all those things can be very complicated, but you can be resourceful, to figure out how to get more movement into your lifestyle. I've mentioned this as well on some of the podcasts, that for me, because now I work mainly from home, I've had to figure out ways to get moving more often. I could tell, several months in, I lost that, walking around a gym or to and from a studio or whatever, that level of activity was gone. So I was like, okay, how do I recreate that? How do I get myself moving? Maybe you're at home now working versus in your office where you used to walk around. How can you get some steps in? How can you, do those things that had your body moving? So it's important to have a strong sense of self and individual purpose too, that, you can put yourself first. You can put your body first. You can put your health first. and making yourself a priority. So I really challenge you to put your mind to it. How can I get movement more into my life? And because I do not want to have my body degrade prematurely, and things like that. So, make those positive life enhancing choices. Here's some great exercises. If you have started age or you're an older age bracket, there's really good exercises that you can do. You can go on YouTube too, and there's like great chair exercises. I was out there the other day peeking around at things and that are safe. You're sitting in a chair. You can also do yoga, Tai Chi. You're feeling really like you want to dance. They have Zumba, other dance classes, water aerobics, chair squats, bicep curls, all those kinds of things. So there's a lot of opportunity to move your body. Another idea for you is that if you're sitting at a desk all day, I know I mentioned setting timers to get up and move, or look up some chair fitness exercises and make notes. And, you can sit in a chair. You probably can't see me, but you can do pull downs like this, and really work those back muscles. You can do bicep curls in your chair. You don't need weights. You can do that while you're watching TV, get up and go for a walk. So go ahead and take the box. Get yourself out of that box that says you can only exercise a certain place at a certain time or whatever, and see what you can figure out. All right. So to get yourself moving. I think this is one of my last points, but I would say one of the most important reasons you want to be exercising and have a strong body and strong balance is the ability to keep independence. As people age, there can be that fear that all of a sudden you're not able to do the things you wanted to do. You're not able to go places you want to go. All of those things, because your body just can't do it. And so it is so important, that you think of that. Is that what you want? Or are you finally willing to make the choice? I'm going to start moving my body. I'm not going to sit on this couch all day. I'm going to start moving it. Right. So it's really important for you to maintain your independence as you grow older. You have to have a body that can do it. So I'm asking you, how important is that? Right. And then again, your family will see you and they're like, wow, she's pretty cool. She's moving around, all that kind of stuff. So anyway. And again, attitude's everything. Our attitude's everything. I've touched on this, but, keeping a positive mindset, being supportive of your body, being open to, still learning ways that you can move it. All of those things will help you. I used to be so rigid in my mindset and I didn't like change. I didn't want to modify anything. And I learned to let that go and be really resourceful. And so, making sure you're maintaining an open, accepting mind and ensuring you're informed on all aspects of your health and potential complications when embarking on any kind of fitness training is really important, but keeping an open mind. And, and the only thing that will be a little bit different is that your actual body itself will change for the benefit over time. Okay, so we're almost done. But, what I'd love to know, and you can put it in the comments or just think to yourself or message me, but, is there anything that was particularly relevant in tonight's broadcast to you? Is there anything specific that you're going to take away from this and hopefully implement some change, implement something that's going to help you. So, write that in a journal. If you want, like I said, you can message me about it. But again, thanks for coming on again with Tough Love Tuesday. I love being here. And, giving you the valuable information. And yeah, so it's really, if you think about it, every day is a new beginning. Every day is a new day to start and to try something new. And if you're the goal here is that you feel good in your body, and go ahead and seek out resources to help you do that. All right. So, and I know that you can do it. I know you can. Okay. Tough Love Tuesday's over for tonight. Get out there, start walking, start doing exercise at home, get resourceful. Maybe you cut out one TV show a night, 30 minutes, and go for a walk, and think about that benefit to your body, preventing disease, helping you stay, like I said, independent as you age. All those things are so, so important. All right. Again, have a great night, and I'll talk to you next week. Okay, bye-bye.